Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge, and yeah, it feels good to be back with you guys. So tonight I've got a very special tarot card reading, and again, just kind of my new practice here on the channel is just to kind of use the first initial. Don't want to offend anybody or violate anybody's privacy, and besides, we don't care about the names as much as we do the questions anyway, and kind of the answers that the tarot reveal. So that's kind of where we're at with all of that. But it feels good to be back here with you guys on another episode of Indirect Knowledge. And so tonight, our question, person's initial starts with an E. And the question is E would like to know what's coming for her in her immediate future relationship. Or future love, that type of thing. And she just wants to maybe kind of get some understanding. Maybe it's the exes coming back. It could be new loves, entering the picture, but just wants to get kind of an understanding of, kind of where that situation is and what's kind of going on with that. So that's what we're going to focus in on. Okay, so I've been shuffling the spots off of this. And for those of you that don't know me, I sort of have a two-part process when it comes to doing tarot. The first step is to really kind of like clean off the old energy from the cards. I do a lot of tarot card readings. I go through a lot of decks every year, but at the same time, I like to kind of get rid of the old energy. And so the way I do that is I shuffle one time to get rid of the energy from that reading. So it's kind of like a reading in between readings in a sense, or a shuffling in between readings. And then what I do is once that energy is clear, I can feel that. The next thing that I do is I take the cards and I focus. I do a very focused shuffle in the direction of the querent. That's the person asking the question or trying to get clarity on some aspect of their life or something. And after that, then that's the shuffle that I use. So now that I've shuffled the spots off these cards, now I'm going to go ahead with the second shuffle. And the second shuffle is for E, and we are going to be focusing on what's coming for her in the immediate future as far as her love life. Will we be looking at things with the exes? Will we be looking at things with maybe something new coming into play? Let's find out. All right, we're going to cut these very nicely. And going through this. All right, and we're back. And for this, we're going to do a 7-card reading. 7-card reading is pretty neat. They give us the past, present, and future, and kind of what we're doing with the present moment, and then that usually leads us into kind of where the future is going. And then finally, we'll look at the answer and the kind of the conclusion. And a little bit of detail here. Okay, so first, let's talk about the near past. Now, the near past, I'm calibrated to about 3 months out. Different cards in the tarot have different levels of energy. Some cards are very heavy and deep, like, for example, the Tower. The Tower is one that really grabs your attention. It's something that really holds on to that, gets you focused on that. Same thing with like the Devil card or something along those lines. Those are ones that are kind of unmistakably like, well, okay, I gotcha. There's other cards that are a little bit lighter in nature, more playful. The Joker, for example, or the Fool. I mean, the Fool is, pretty lighthearted kind of card. So, it's like there's lesser energy associated with that. So something like the Devil or something would be like more in the immediate, something that's got a heavier presence to it. Or it could also be something that's quite a bit, that's been plaguing, a person for quite a bit of time, and just maybe is recently something that you've kind of moved past, or you're working toward moving past, something along those lines. I can get a sense of that from the cards. And that's where I kind of get the timeline at. Like I said, I'm calibrated to about 3 months out. And depending on the heaviness or the lightness of the cards, or the energy that the cards emanate, that kind of gives me kind of a ballpark range of where the time frame might be. So let's look at the first card. The first card we have is the Magician. Magician's all about resources. It's all about giving us the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, or, so this goes into a lot of detail. Like if this was a job or something like that, or some kind of a career move in the past, it would have just been like, okay, you've maybe gone to school and gained some knowledge and some resources to be able to help you out with a new career or new profession. It could be something like maybe you're involved in a very highly technical field and you've learned certain things in order to do the job. Now you're prepared to do it. Now you can go out and get a job that's maybe higher in demand than what most people could maybe do, because not everybody has the same skill set as what you might have. With relationships and everything, which is kind of the focus for the theme of this and all, it's really about learning all the things you need to know about relationships in order to handle them and manage them correctly, and to enjoy them, and to make sense of them, and to kind of hold your own ground while at the same time letting that person have their ground as well, so that you can work together synergistically. That's what the Magician's really all about. So when we look at things, it's just sort of like the culmination of coming to terms with that, the fact that you can be by yourself, you can be on your own, you can be with someone, but you know how to manage and you know how to handle the situation, and you have the right resources, right tools to make it happen. So yeah, that's about 2.5, 3 months out. That's about where I'm picking up as far as that goes. Now let's look at the present moment. Okay. This card right here is the Five of Wands. Okay, we're kind of in the middle of the wands. We have 1 to 10 as far as the numerical suite goes for the wands. When you're in the middle and you're at the fives, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of volatility, and there's a lot of change happening, and that's what five in numerology really indicates. And when we have this here situation going on, it's not that we're fighting the other four people in this card. Is that everybody's just kind of fighting everybody else. There's no one person ganging up on anybody. It's just everybody's kind of out there for themselves. So in the relationship field, in the world of relationships, it's about what's in it for me, and everybody's sort of feeling that way, and that's what's being kind of more or less attracted. And when we're taking action, that's the wand side of this. It's like going through, maybe you're looking at the dating sites or wherever, whatever, however you go about meeting people and that type of thing, or positioning yourself. And it's just really about, okay, well, nah, I don't really want this. Yeah, I'll take this. No, okay, maybe this, well, maybe, this person's not giving me enough. It's all that kind of energy that we start to have. And there's that, maybe there's multiple people involved with this. And it could be that you're talking to people from the past, you're meeting new people at the same time. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or something like that. And maybe you still got feelings or some love for that person, but then at the other time, maybe there's somebody, like some people online that you're kind of meeting, but you're getting back out in the world to do things. And so, it could have something to do along those lines as well. The point is that right now in the current situation, it's sort of like kind of in this by yourself, taking this actions and stuff, but it's, you still have those resources and tools. That's the thing not to forget, like when you're in this particular situation. We'll talk about this present moment card in a minute when we talk about sort of the card that kind of pairs with it to kind of give us more information, more knowledge about it. For now, though, let's transition just for a moment over to the near future. And to do that, we're going to step into another 4 card. And this 4 card right here is the 4 of Pentacles. This is sometimes called the Miser card. This is where, and it kind of makes sense with this card here, because this one's kind of everybody in it for themselves. This one here is like, I'm not willing to let go of what's important to me. I'm not willing to let go of my money, my resources. I'm just not feeling so secure, like sharing everything so much. And so in this kind of card, we call this a Miser card sometimes, but really the Pentacles are really that Capricorn kind of energy, that earthy kind. It's an earth sign. It's about groundedness, but at the same time, it is about money and collectiveness, as far as collecting rewards in terms of materialism. So it's a very materialistic kind of card, but it's materialistic not in the sense that, these things are shiny and bright and all that kind of stuff. That's more the Virgo kind of, we won't say anything. I love Virgos, by the way. But anyway, this is more kind of that Capricornian kind of energy where it's like, I'm working really hard for all of this. This is kind of my deal. I'm not really willing to share everything, like give me, but don't make me give. That kind of card. Hope that kind of helps a little bit. So that's kind of the relationship things. I'm important, but don't make me make you important. Not right away anyway. And so we're looking about 4 or 5 months out for that card. The next card that we have, let's now turn back to this here. This 5 of Wands right here. 5 of staffs. Sometimes people call it staffs. What were we just talking about as far as like some energy in the last reading? Yeah, we were talking about I was just talking to you guys about like the lightness of the energy. Well, guess what? We did get the Fool. Yeah. That's the lightheartedness, the naivety, I'm just going out on a whim here. It's not, not taking things too seriously. Maybe I just don't know better. And that's what's going on with this. So when we're in the world by ourselves, yeah, we got resources and different things, but here it's sort of like we're just kind of footloose and fancy free. We're just kind of doing our own thing. And, we're not really overly concerned, or like mindset wise, we're not taking things overly seriously or anything. So it's just kind of just a freedom card. We're getting that sense of freedom and, ability to get out, bring things into our, just go out and do things, without regard for anything else, really. We're not worried about the dangers of things. I mean, look at this poor fella here, just about to jump off the cliff. If it wasn't for that little dog, probably would, it's just, but they're enjoying the view, So you kind of get that kind of a vibe. By the way, this is a major arcana card. It's the very first major arcana card. It's a 0 card in the deck. And that just means that we're starting a new journey. So if you want to know about kind of the relationship things of what's going on right now, it's sort of that starter energy. It's sort of that newness kind of energy. And it's not so much about people from the past. It's more kind of looking for things in the future, new things to come about. There's a lot of fish in the sea, so to speak, Let's talk about where your energy is, though. So where you're at is with this Knight of Wands. This is a card that sort of kind of talks about the attitude of where your attitude is, your mindset, that kind of thing. Keep that kind of thought in mind when I go through this here. Knight of Wands is really about that active double dose of action, like getting out there, doing things. There's not a lot of thought involved in it. There's not a lot of emotion or feeling and things on that end. It's really about the experience. It's about doing things, Pretty cool card considering that, in the near future, 4 or 5 months out, we've got this card here, the 4 of Pentacles. That's where we start to say, okay, you know what? It's been fun, but now it's time to kind of maybe put a little restraint in place, and that's what that 4 of Pentacles is really about. Okay, you know what? Let me get give me some stuff. Don't make me do the giving. Let me get some stuff. Okay, so what's the answer to really, the next chapter, finding the right thing, the direction that we tend to be moving in, that kind of thing? Well, we have the 8 of Pentacles. More Pentacles. So Pentacles is about money. This one here is really about mastery of a skill set, so to speak. It's about doing certain things in a certain way to get a certain result. It's about finding the right process, finding the right path. And with regard to love, that's what this is really talking to us about. It's about the answer is really finding what is it that we're really looking for. Let's put a little bit of thought into it. Let's take our emotions into effect, like as far as moving forward. Let's be a little forward thinking. And, it's great to live in the moment. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of fun. But sometimes it's okay to also do a little planning, to do a little thinking and to do a little structured planning, and that's okay too. And that can get us some good results as well. The 8 of Pentacles, not only is it an earth sign, but it's also an earth number. It's that 8. And 8 is about money and numerology. It's about bringing in the wealth, bringing in the material world, less about the spiritual, more about the material. And, so it's more about that, okay, finding the right thing, in a practical sense, very practical kind of energy that's required in order to get your outcome. Okay, so take just a moment to look at this card. I think it's a little self-explanatory on some level here. We have the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, like we talked about 4s before. 4 is really, we had the 4 of Pentacles. We were talking about that kind of miserly, but, in that sense of structure and that. Here is structure again. The 4 of Wands, I always think of a table when I think of 4 of Wands, because you have those 4 legs. And the 4 legs kind of, if you lose one of those legs, that table comes crashing down. But as long as you got all 4 of them in place and they're, pretty even, evenly put together and everything's pretty strong, you got the makings of a strong relationship. And that's what this is really all about. You see the people there, it's sort of this wedded couple, or, this couple that's enjoying some kind of a celebration. You've got the celebratory great wreaths and different things. So you get a lot of that. And so this is a really positive card. And this is where we're really working toward. How do we get there? Well, you got to be a little bit you have to really focus in on kind of the planning side of things, figuring things out. What's the best approach to getting what you want? And then maybe kind of moving more in that direction. Again, it's okay to be footloose and fancy free. It's good to have kind of fly by the seat of our pants sometimes. Hey, I love rose-colored glasses as much as anybody. Let's put them on and be John Lennon or something, or Elton John, I mean. But you get the point. It's it's okay to have a flowery existence, but sometimes it's also good to do a little planning, get a little bit of structure going and stuff like that. And if you do that, you will find the right person. It'll be a new relationship. It won't be somebody from the past, and but it'll make sense, and it'll be somebody that you're completely compatible with that will work for you. What's the timeline on it? 7 or 8 months out from now. You'll start to see this maybe person come into fruition in about 4 or 5 months from now, but about 6 or 7 months from now, that's where this is really going to start to hit more hard, and this is where it's going to become more serious. And as it becomes more serious, it's just a matter of time before it becomes, a lot more serious to the point where you're like, this is the one. Anyway, hope this helps. Much love and many blessings. If you have any questions, you need anything, you have questions about the reading or anything like that, please reach out to me. I'm always, always, always here for you guys. For those of you guys that don't know, that watch the channel or don't watch the channel, I'm a monk. And so we have our little basic, simple existence here. I'm in Michigan, and it's all about service, all about doing. And we can talk about that on another episode. You can probably see some of the philosophy and different things kind of threaded through some of the episodes, I guess. But more or less, I'm here to serve. And so trying to do what I can to give. I've been a psychic ever since I was about 9 years old. And I just pick up things, and, I started doing that a lot. And then I started studying tarot, and that kind of medium sort of really helped and develop some of the skill sets that I have, or intuition and that. And then more things just came. And so it just kind of increased over time. I've heard a lot of people who were psychic as children, that oftentimes children do pick up a lot of things, that as their life goes on, that kind of energy or that psychicness kind of wanes and it disappears eventually. The person it's not there. Mine was sort of the opposite. I had it at 9, and it was pretty strong actually at 9, but it's just gotten stronger ever since. So if you have any questions, you need anything, please reach out. Much love, many blessings. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. Oh, and just as a little aside here, anything that you guys pick up or purchase or anything or donate on indirectknowledge.com, that goes to help us out. We need a new roof. Hint, hint. Just kidding. But we do need a new roof. I had what do you call those things on the side of a building that collect rain? Gutters. Yeah, gutters just fell off today. So it's always something in this material world. All right. So we're going to end the channel. Not the channel, but okay. We're going to end the stream now. Much love, many blessings. See you guys on the next episode. Thanks.